Good evening, my family. Um, God bless you on this wonderful day. The Lord has shared many things with me today. He's given me some uplifting words. He's also given me some reproof. And I figured I'd just share that with you guys because I feel like when He teaches me something and I'm learning, I need to pass that same lesson down to my family because maybe it can help you guys or help someone that's struggling with the same thing get past whatever they're getting going through right now. So, just to give you some background before I go into these dreams and this word that the Lord spoke to me today. Um, for the past few weeks or so, things just kind of felt a little off, and I had been praying and asking the Lord, um, but the one thing that I knew what it was, but I guess I just wasn't listening and I was in denial about it. And um, the enemy had somehow seeped in and was tickling my ego in a sense. And not that I have an ego, but just as a human being, we all have an ego. So um, I had noticed that every now and then, certain comments that I would get or certain things people would say would offend me in a way, and I would kind of feel like that person was trying to trump me in a way, and then I would sit back and think about it like, well, wait, why do I even feel like that in the first place? Like I shouldn't have a reason to feel as though somebody's trying to trump me because that's a sign of pride seeping in. And so I started praying about it and asking for forgiveness, but I wasn't really acknowledging it completely. And I knew like certain dreams, even certain dreams that I've been sharing with you guys, the Lord had been speaking, giving me personally, but I was kind of like, nah, that's not for me. That can't be for me. So then today, he, it seeped in. It sat in my head, in my heart, and I understood, and I heard, and I listened. The key word is listen. I listened to what he was saying. So, um, he told me today, like I had spoke with a sister today, and and I had some great, not so great news, but great news also, and some affirmation from the Lord about just having a prophetic ministry and things like that, and Him speaking to me, and and then I felt as though I needed to pray, so I started to pray, and then the Spirit took over, and I started praying about forgiveness and coming to Him in humility and as a child, and to just learn and to asking for guidance and wisdom in His truth, and asking Him what to do about certain things. And after I got done praying, He gave me a vision, and I saw a cup, and the cup flipped over, and I already knew exactly what He was saying. And what He was saying was, empty your cup. He was saying, if you want to learn, if you want to change, this path that you're starting to drive off, if you want to come to me, as I've been telling you, showing you, come to me as a child, with wanting to learn, wanting to, filled with joy and innocence, and just wanting to learn. I have to empty my cup and come to him in humility, and drop this pride that's seeping in. So I asked for forgiveness about that, and I started looking up different verses and things like that, and then certain dreams started I started understanding, okay, this is what he was telling me. This is why I had this dream, and this is what this dream meant, and it was referring to what I thought it was referring to, but I was ignoring. So I said all that just to make you guys aware, which I'm sure many of you are, if not all of you, but every now and then we slip, we fall, but the important thing is that we get back up, that we reach back up to the Lord's hand and allow him to pull us out of that rut that we've fallen into. Allow not to just keep digging deeper into the dark pit, but to reach back out into the light and get back on the straight and narrow path, because we're in these broken bodies, and the Lord knows that we are going to fall. We are not going to be sinless until the day that we get our glorified bodies. The only one that was sinless was Jesus Christ, that lived a perfect life. We cannot do that, but through Jesus Christ we can sin less. We can keep from sinning as much as possible by walking in righteousness and light, and listening and following and walking in the Spirit continually. And when he speaks to you, listen and receive his word, and not stand with your chest poking out with pride as though you know everything, because we don't. Once you think you know something, you know nothing. So this dream that I had last night, or this word, after I got done praying, I was asking the Lord for strength in these trials I've been going through, and I heard oak. One word, I heard oak. And in that one word, he said so much. And I knew instantly that he meant, I will persevere through my trials because I am strong as an oak. And he gave me a verse later on today, throughout the day, to go with this. And it is Isaiah 61, 1-4, which says, the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise. Instead of a spirit of despair, they will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. So it was such an uplifting word, and something that I really needed to hear. And the Lord gave that encouragement to me. So I passed that encouragement on to you guys too, because we are his trees, we are his oaks, and he gives us the strength to endure and persevere through all things. So just walk in that joy and that peace, guys. So the next dream I had, or the next word I heard gentle one. So I had a dream in between that, but I think I'm gonna skip that for now. But I heard very audibly a very soft and comforting voice, and it said, "Gentle one," and I knew that was speaking about two things. It was speaking about Jesus, but it was also speaking about myself. And I understood that because I had been talking about gentleness earlier that night. And I believe the Lord gave me that word, that the angel or whoever spoke that word into my ear was telling me that it's okay. It's okay to be gentle. Having a gentle spirit, a quiet spirit, and gentleness is of God. That is of Jesus. Jesus has a gentle spirit, and because that's biblical. I don't have the verse on me right now. I didn't write it down, but that's biblical. That is following Christ. We have that gentleness, and now not gentleness in a means as just letting people walk all over you, but gentleness, having patience with your brothers and sisters, even outside of the family of Christ. Having patience with your neighbors of the world. We are called to love all, and we're called to approach them in love, and that's how they know that we're Christians. That's how we're supposed to show them who Christ is, and if we come to them in gentleness and we speak in gentleness and out of love and patience, then that could be a saving in that person's life, that you coming to them in that manner. Which, yes, I know there are times that call for a more direct, I don't want to say harsh, but a more direct word and approach to someone. But the Lord will give you that when it's due. But ultimately, we are to approach people and our brothers and sisters in gentleness and love. So it just giving me an okay, like, it's okay. You have a gentle spirit. We know that you're strong as an oak, but you're gentle, and that's okay. So, I had this vision of well, it was more of a dream, but I saw Superman. So I saw Superman flying in the sky, right? Like, he wasn't flying around, but he was like floating in midair. And I think they were in like a canyon or something like that. But I saw Superman, like the original blue and red Superman. And then I saw a bunch of other Supermen flying, like, come up to him, and it almost like it was like a gang of them, and they were not red and blue suits, but they were like a sandy kind of color. But I heard Superman, and then right after I heard Superman, I heard superpower, and then right after I heard superpower, I heard government superpower. So I knew that that was talking these supermen represented the superpower, the government superpowers. And the original Superman that I saw in the red and blue, that represented USA. And then the other superpowers were the other nations, the other superpower nations that are rising to become superpowers. Um, and I looked them up, and I didn't write them down, but I looked them up, and that included China, Russia. Uh, One site said Brazil, but I'm not too sure on that one. One said Saudi Arabia, another said Germany, and I'm not sure what the other one was. Oh yeah, India. So, and then there was like one or two more, but my point is, the point of this dream was talking about nation rising against nation, which is in the Bible. Um, and it was showing that the nations are coming to war against each other, and the other nations are coming against the United States. And that's why I saw the group of the other Superman, the other superpowers, coming against the one Superman. So that time is here, guys. So this last dream I want to share with you guys um, was sort of a personal message, but also, I believe, giving us insight on the closeness of um, certain parts of Revelation. And so, in this dream, I was in the house with my family and one of my close friends, Sammy. And I was doing something upstairs. I'm not sure what I was doing, but I was upstairs, and I noticed that the house felt like it was on a slope, like on a real hard lean, and almost felt like I was like sliding to one side or another. So I went downstairs to see, what was going on. So I was looking around, and then I even went outside, and everything looked pretty much normal. But then I came back inside, and I noticed that the walls are cracking, and like the foundation um of the walls, and the ceilings, like they're like the drywall's cracking and falling out. And so I started freaking out, and I'm like, oh no, what's like, I felt like any minute the ceiling, the upstairs second floor, is about to fall down on everybody. So I start telling everybody what's going on, what I'm seeing, and then like like my wife knew, like, could see how concerned I was about it. And as I'm like telling her everything that's happening, like, I'm trying to hide under stuff. I remember at one point I ran and tried to hide under the table because I thought the ceiling was gonna fall on us, and I was like trying to pull stuff over me just in case it fell. And I kept thinking, oh no, like, if I'm under this, I'm still gonna get crushed to death. And then my wife Janice, she suggested that we pack our bags and we go stay at this motel, that we leave and go stay at this. Well, she didn't specifically say a motel. She said that we should pack and go to this place that's it was like in a shopping center, um like down the street from us, and like walk. I knew it was in walking distance, but I knew it was a motel when she said that. And I instantly know now, like, that was representing the safe place that God's going to take us to, once all this stuff starts happening. So it could possibly represent the island. But I knew that whatever had happened, that it had something to do with an earthquake, like I knew it was a very subtle earthquake that happened, and we didn't notice it, and it started cracking the walls. So now I'm starting thinking about it. I'm thinking maybe this was actually the sign of the earthquake before the big earthquake came. Like, you know how sometimes you get the little tremors before you get the big one. And so that's what was causing all the cracking and everything. And that's why I was so adamant about getting out of there, because I knew something big was about to happen and everything was going to come falling down. So I she had said that we should do that, and I was like, okay. So but then I was worried, because I knew then we still had to go upstairs and pack our bags, and I was like, I don't want to go upstairs, and I don't think any of us should go upstairs, because it's going to be too much weight for the upstairs, and we're going to make the upstairs fall down, and we're going to end up getting crushed anyway. But she's so calm about this the whole time. So now I'm wondering, or I was thinking, that she might have actually been an angel representing my wife, and that's why there was so much calmness in her spirit throughout this dream. Like the whole time she's just like, oh, don't worry about it, we'll just do this. Don't worry about it, it's gonna be okay, we'll just do this. So we go upstairs and we're packing our stuff, and I'm like trying to find clothes to put on or to pack, and then I had woke up after that. So I look up some scripture, because it made me think of two things. I looked up Ezekiel 38:20, which says, "The fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the beasts of the field, every creature that moves along the ground, and all the people on the face of the earth will tremble at my presence. The mountains will be overturned, the cliffs will crumble, and every wall will fall to the ground." And then Revelation 6:14 and 17, which says, "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves," like I was trying to hide, "in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?" So I know that was a sign. This dream was a sign of this, was the Lord telling me that this time is about to come, and he's about to crush everything, and nobody's going to stand against the Lord. For who can stand against the Lord? And it's just going to be reckoning. Just people are going to be flipping out, like, what is going on? Why is everything falling apart? Where's all these earthquakes coming from? The mountains are falling down, the walls are being crushed, the sky is opening. I mean, we're going to be rejoicing. But this is I saw how I was so panicky in this dream, and I just knew I was going to get crushed and die. That's how these people are going to feel. That's how the world's going to feel. So we got to save them. We got to tell them the word, the gospel, get them the truth, the good news, to save them from this, guys. This is what we're here to do, to save as many as we can. So guys, just continue to pray, stay humble, and I love you. God bless, and I'll talk with you soon.